YouTube, how's it going? I have had the most amazing day. I've been in Melbourne now, what day is it, Tuesday, and I got here on Thursday night. Almost 1 week in Melbourne now, and it is just the most phenomenal city. This is just going to be a video of me gushing about finally travelling and what an amazing city Melbourne is to be in. Like, I'm sorry, I can't help it. I've had some lows as well, like went out on my first night, met a couple of guys, software developers that bought me drinks all night. I think one guy was like wingmanning for his friend, really, but they did it in a really nice, non-sleazy way. Bought me drinks all night, and I'm going out with them tomorrow night actually, to a trivia night, which is like a pub quiz, except you get a buzzer and it's like a game show rather than like just sort of dry like it is in London. Pub quiz, and out for Chinese food at this place they say is like amazing and everyone has to check out. But anyway, I went out the first night and I got a little bit hungover, and on the second night, and on the second day I was quite hungover and I was quite hungry, and it was a really grey overcast day where my first day had just been like beautiful sunny weather, and I had a bit of a downer that day. I got lost in the wrong part of town, found the hostels that I'd been looking at online that I was thinking I was going to have to move into like a couple of days later, and they looked like crack dens, and it was all just like miserable. And then got lost, got on the wrong tram to Brunswick Road rather than Brunswick Street. Easy mistake to make. Everywhere in Melbourne's like doubled up, so they're like streets and places and things that all have the same names. But yeah, stupid thing to do, and then ended up having to pay 20 quid to get back to an empty flat. My flatmate Joel is a barman, and so I had a really shit day. Like on the second day I made a really miserable YouTube video. It was like 20 minutes of me being like, what the fuck have I done, like why am I here? But honestly, I've had the most phenomenal time since then. Like, I think I was just a bit jet lagged and tired because I'm having a little scotch. It's not as much as it looks because there's this amazing thing called a whiskey ball. My flatmate, as I say, is a barman and he introduced me to these whiskey balls. They're brilliant. David, if you watch this, you need to get a whiskey ball. They just chill the whiskey really like nicely without melting very fast, so you just get a small amount of water into the glass but quite cold. Oh, it's a beautiful thing, honestly. Whiskey balls, yet another fucking revelation. I cannot believe that before I came to Australia, or Melbourne, you know, I haven't seen any of the rest of Australia, and I'm told by Melbourners, or Melbourneites if you will, that, you know, who are obviously biased, that, you know, Melbourne's the city. And it probably is like the city because it is such, I'm from London, you know, it's quite a big sort of world famous city, and we've got nothing compared to Melbourne, like nothing. Melbourne has so much character, it's so clean, everyone's so friendly, everywhere there's cool street art and like vibrant, you know, cafe culture. The food is amazing. I thought before I got here, like, what the fuck is fusion food? But I've had the most amazing. I haven't had any bad food since I got here, and I've eaten some really cheap places as well. So you know, if you eat in cheap places in London, it's going to be really shit. Amazing food, but most of all are the people. Like, the people are just incredibly friendly. It is a different world completely. You know, I went out on my first night. 2 guys asked me if I wanted to sit on their table because they saw that I was sitting on my own. That was on a Friday night. They were out to have computer software pal chat, you know, and still let some stupid English girl that didn't even know the name of the Prime Minister sit with them. I got taken out today by a couple who I was referred to on Facebook by about 3 degrees. Like, they have no idea who I am, and they took me out and they bought me a meal, and they just told me all of the amazing. You ask someone in Melbourne like for one recommendation for like a Greek restaurant and they'll give you like 6. You seriously have to take a notebook out with you when you ask for like recommendations, and I've just filled up pages and pages with shit that I have to do. I've found a group on Facebook called Newbies International Melbourne, which is like for people that have moved to Melbourne and want to meet people, and I've already got like a girls' night, Vietnamese food and drinks on Friday night lined up through that. I've got this pub quiz trivia Chinese night tomorrow. People are so... the couple that took me out today insist that I go and see them. They live on the south coast of Australia, because they said that when I see like the night sky without any light pollution, my jaw's just going to hit the deck because I'll never have seen anything like it. And they live on a farm, and I can go and stay with them whenever I want. It's like an hour and a half on a bus that costs like £6 for 2 hours on a bus or something. It's like, it is incredible. I got a bit worried when I saw how expensive everything was, but all it is like tapping into the sort of, all of the clever tricks that you can do to save yourself a ton of money. Like I discovered the Queen Victoria Market a couple of days ago, which is like world famous. Best way to spend a Sunday afternoon that I can think of. It's absolutely huge, sprawling market. And they've got grocers selling, I put together like a whole huge carrier bag full of like fruit, veg, chilies, and at the end the chilies were the last thing I asked for, and I said, how much is that? And he said $3.50, and I said, what for the chilies? He was like, no, for the whole lot. $3.50 Australian dollars, that's like £1.80 for a bag full of really amazing, the carrots are enormous, like the produce is incredible. Went and bought like rump steak and all of this shit from the market. It was so cheap. Came back and cooked myself an amazing stew, because it has still been a bit nippy here in the evenings. It's getting dark at about 6:30. But on the days where it's been sunny, it's been 21 degrees. 21 degrees is like a pleasant British summer's day, and we're talking in early spring. It is going to be sweltering. It's going to be like an average of 37 degrees over summer. I cannot wait. Christmas Day I'm going to be on the beach. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I'm so sorry, I'm just gushing at you, I'm not even saying anything. So today, I got taken out for a really nice meal and a chinwag with this lovely middle-aged couple that had just come into Melbourne to see their new granddaughter, and they were like, she took me out for a meal and chatting my ear off, and then I got a call from a recruitment agent. I've been applying for jobs, and I was working for a company called Hayes in London, which is a recruitment agent in London, and I got referred to their Melbourne office through Hayes, where I come with references from London. They called me up today. I've got a job interview tomorrow. You know, I've got a recruitment interview tomorrow at 10 AM. I could get my snazzy new trouser suit on. I was always tempted to put it on to make this video because I look really cool in it. I've lost a ton of weight because I've been walking everywhere. I've got a fucking tan in early September. Where are we? Mid-September. I don't even know what the date is. Like, it's been so good being, oh my god, it has been so good. I can't even describe it to you. And it's great for someone like me, because I go out in London where I've lived my entire life. Oh shit, it's melting really fast. I'm going to have a load of whiskey. Oh, that's better. That's a great way to round off a good day. I go out in London, like where I've lived my entire life, and get completely fucking lost down all these back alleys and winding lanes and everything. And Melbourne's pretty much set out like an American city, like on a grid. So you come across streets that you recognise the name of, and I got myself this stupid little like city compass thing, which you wouldn't go off into the outback using, but it's fine for my purposes, which just tells me when I get onto the street, like which way I need to turn. And well, after getting lost on the second day and walking around, like feeling like it was really quite dangerous after dark to be walking around in that part of town on my own, I haven't had any problems since. And I got my first tram yesterday, and got my first tram and got really lost. Have had a few successful tram journeys since. They've got this incredible circle tram, which is the tourist tram, which goes around the centre of Melbourne and like tells you about all the sites that you go past, which is completely free. So I've just been like doing a very backpackery thing and jumping on that to get about and saving myself some cash, because I'm living right in a really trendy area, like right near. I'm 5 minutes walk from like Melbourne Museum and 10 minutes walk from Chinatown, so I'm like right near town. You could just walk into town so easily, across this beautiful park filled with possums when the sun goes down, and these like fantastic sort of green and purple parakeets. And I woke up yesterday, unfortunately I keep waking up, I'm still a bit jet lagged I think, or I haven't got the sleep clock back yet, and I woke up yesterday at 6 AM and I went out on the balcony here to have a cigarette, because I've started smoking again, and the dawn chorus sounds like you're in a rainforest or something. It's like really exotic and not at all the twit 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 of little English birds. I'm like, I really feel like I'm in it. And so after I got that taken for that meal today, and then got an interview tomorrow at a recruitment agency, I took myself to Melbourne Aquarium, which was so cool. I just sat in front of the sharks forever. I just sat there for hours. And normally I think, like, even if I go out and I'm having a good day, like in London, I tend to get a little bit depressed because people look at you a bit funny if you're on your own and stuff. But I was just absolutely, completely happy and at one with myself. That sounds so cheesy. I was completely happy to just be there on my own, you know. maybe having a bit of company in the morning helped, because I was a little bit lonesome yesterday, which is why I signed up for that Melbourne International group, and got a date out of it. So, but Melbourne Aquarium's fantastic. They've got like a 12-foot fucking huge crocodile, ton of sharks, loads of like crazy little like fish that I've never even heard of. There's stuff there that I've never even heard of. Amazing, amazing. If you're in, if you ever consider a holiday to Australia, you have to come to Melbourne. It is the most amazing city. People are friendly. It's clean. The trams. It's environmentally friendly. It's kooky. It's cute. It's not like dominated by KFCs and Starbucks and whatever. It's not depressing. You know, even people in office clothes seem to be like generally like happy and in a good mood. Melbourne people are like really enthusiastic about their city. People that have lived here for their entire lives. Like if you come to London, you ask me for directions and I know where to go, I'll give you directions, but I won't be like, you're gonna love it, you know, like, and while you're on the way past you should check out the British Museum. You know, I've been to all these places in London and many times the tourist sites in London, but I don't wax lyrical about them. They're not just waxing about tourist sites. They're like, you've got to try the food at this place, you know, you've got to check out this little bar, they do these amazing like, and the food is just amazing. It's, oh, okay, I'm still gushing. Sorry, I feel like I should say something a bit more deep or meaningful. Try and like take something philosophical from it. But I haven't even been able to think really very deeply or meaningfully since I got here, because I've just been having so much fun. Like, I've been writing a journal to, everyone told me like when you go travelling keep a journal because you'll want to look back at it in future. Learned a lesson from my sister who travelled around, did a like around the world trip, and ended up coming home early because she was in India and her bag got nicked on an overnight train and it had her journal in it, and she said like all the stuff she lost, that travel journal that she'd been fastidiously keeping since she'd left was the one thing that, you know, really gutted her out. She ended up getting dengue fever and just coming home, but and so I really look forward to India. Even with the theft of the dengue fever, I can't wait to go to India. That place is always cool to me. Australia, never given a shit. Always thought, oh, I'll go there one day for like a bit of a road trip, but it's never been like somewhere that I've been desperate to go, and it's just like phenomenal. Absolutely blown my mind. I take back everything that I ever said about Australia. I was such a prejudiced little shit. I've learnt my lesson. Amazing. Okay, I might stop gushing because I don't have anything philosophical to say. Well, I would say like when you're travelling, like the highs are high but the lows can be quite low, and I just go back and forth like a yo-yo. Nothing bad happened to like make me low. It's just if you get on a downer, you can feel quite a long way from home. But when you're on, you're really on. And then if you're walking around with this atmosphere, with this spirit of like, I'm so on today and I'm having an amazing day, people really respond to that. People will strike up conversations with you, smile at people, you know, like, because they'll talk to you. I keep getting checked out by hot Australian guys. Like, no one even looks at me in London. I think it's just I'm walking around with my head down because I honestly just feel so paranoid and socially anxious in London. Melbourne, completely different deal. Such a cool city. So cool. Duty-free scotch. Amazing. Amazing. So I'm going to go and have a bowl of stew and get my nice new suit ready for my recruitment interview tomorrow. Wish me luck, because it is a little bit more nerve-wracking going for job interviews on the other side of the world, because you just feel a bit more out of your depth already. Whereas, you know, when I go from like my mum's house to a job interview, I've got everyone being like, good luck, you know, my mum being like, don't forget this, don't forget that. It's been really good to get away, I think, and just do things on my own, because every time I do something that scares me a little bit, like today, I honestly nearly cancelled on that couple. I thought it was just going to be the woman while her husband went to a dentist appointment, but he met up with us afterwards and they bought me lunch and stuff. Before, I almost cancelled because I was so nervous. I'm such a socially anxious person, and I'm so glad that I didn't, because they were so easy to get along with. So now I'm thinking about, you know, I was nervous about the idea of this trivia night tomorrow, and what if like it was just the hot buttered rum cocktails that we were drinking, like, you know, making it easy to get along with them. What if I'm not like really pissed? Will it be okay? Will there be a load of stilted conversation? But the more scary things I do and successfully do, the more confident I feel about doing even bigger things. Like, it's not made me want to move back to London and like, you know, beg my mum to take me back in while I look for somewhere to live or something. It's made me want to do the entire world. Like, I'm really on one today. I could take on the world today. Absolutely amazing. Okay, I'm done gushing. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you're well, YouTube. Let me know how you are. And have a good one.